This is my new friend Deborah, and she's going to be talking about you are the gift.
So nice all of you are here tonight with us. We're so glad to have you. And many of you might not remember, but the life that you're living right now, you asked for it. You sat before the council before you came here. You discussed all these things that are going on in your life. Just thought I'd remind you that it was your choice. And sometimes, like myself, I say, what was I thinking when I asked for these things? But we learn in all ways, good and bad. You know, some lessons we're glad that they're over. And we can move on to bigger and better things. And each and every one of us are here to let our light shine, to inspire other people in our lives, and to step into that light. So sometimes people that aren't awakened yet will have the chance to awaken because of your light. How many times have you been in a grocery store and you just start talking to a stranger? You don't know why, but Spirit will have you say something to that person that they needed to hear to shift and change their own life. We don't have to be aware of what we're doing, trust me. But God knows, and Spirit knows, and they inspire us each and every day. When I was 3 years old, that's when I got initiated into Spirit. And I was trying to climb under my sister's crib, and I caught the cord to the vaporizer. And I had burnt myself from head to toe. I had 3rd-degree burns. No scars. I have no scars but a scratch on my one eyebrow. But that opened me up psychically, where I suddenly knew things, felt things, had the gift of healing in my hands. And I mean, when you're 3 years old, it's not like you're sitting up here with the microphone talking to people. And back then you didn't discuss spiritual things with people. My great-grandfather was a Presbyterian minister. They had a different viewpoint about the Bible. So things just weren't discussed. But as I got older in my teens, I started to open up more to Spirit and to my gifts and listening and sharing it with other people. And it's amazing when you run in, even today coming here, I ran into Nicole, one of the readers, and she said, "You changed my whole life. You got me on this path." And that's how Spirit works. And I've been a minister. April Fool's Day is my anniversary. It's appropriate. If you really knew me, you would understand how appropriate it is. Back in 1990 is when I became a minister. And the name of my church is Wings of Grace Spiritual Center. And I live over the bridge in St. Petersburg. And I travel around. I'm a faith healer. And I go around and I help whomever, wherever I'm sent. It's what Jesus did, after all. And I sit with the archangels. I'm a physical medium. And I sit with the angels every morning at 3 a.m. and do long distance healing and send energy wherever or whoever it's to go to. And the angels keep working on these people. And every morning, you know, I check in and we keep sending energy. And then they let me know when the process is complete. And one of my friends that lives in South Carolina was battling cancer. And I only met her on the phone. We never met in person. And she got sick again, and they put her in the hospital where she got sepsis and all these things, and it complicated her whole life as we would see it from this side of the veil. And the one morning when I sat with the angels, Archangel Gabriel says to me, Parisi's healed. She's here with us. And then that afternoon, her ex-husband's calling me to say, oh, Reverend Debbie, thank you for everything you've done, but you might not know Parisi's passed away early in the morning. I said, I know. Angels already told me. You know? And I see death as a new beginning. We're like the Energizer Bunny, except we run longer than the batteries for the bunny. You know, because our soul lives forever. There's not an ending. It's a just keep on keeping on, keep on going, because we're the gift. We're the gift that are here. Oh, forgot the microphone, sorry. We're the gift that God planted here so that we could make the difference in the world. And it doesn't have to be baking the cake. It doesn't have to be, you know, a burning bush. They've already had that experience in the Bible, so we don't have to repeat it all the time. You know? We each have our own unique light. And this is the gift. This is the gift. And how many of you have had spiritual experiences that shifted your whole life? I bet every hand in here can go up. I bet it can. You know? And isn't it wonderful? Do you remember that moment when that happened? How great you felt in your heart? When we're so happy, when you feel like you have that song in your heart? That's what being on the spiritual path is all about. Getting to live in that joy and feeling that unconditional love of God. Now, several years ago, I've been a trance medium. Does everyone know what a trance medium is? Okay. Well, there's several different levels to being a medium. So this has been my whole life purpose, is to be a physical medium. So back in the 80s, I was gifted a teacher named Dr. Lydia Webster. And she was a doctor in the 1800s. And so she comes, and I go into a deep meditation state, and she comes and communicates through me like we do seances. And I leave, I don't know where I go, but I don't know anything that's said. Everyone fills me in afterwards. And she comes, and my voice changes, and you can see her face transformed over mine. And she'll go around the circle and bring through loved ones and messages, and you can ask her questions. You can say, hi, my name is Sue, do you have a message for me? Because that's being introduced. And she'll go around the circle and read for everybody. That's where the ectoplasma, which comes from spirit, has filled up in my body. I feel like I'm drinking, and I can feel it filling up my body, and then boom, she's in my body talking. Okay. And I've been doing that since the 80s. And then, about 6 years ago, Spirit started to apport. Does everyone know what an apport is? It's a physical item the Spirit will just come and deliver to you. And it takes physical form, and it stays here. So I have what they call trumpets. They look like cheerleaders' megaphones, but they're made out of aluminum. And they started appearing piece by piece. They have like 3 or 4 sections to each trumpet. I'd be teaching a meditation class, and after meditation, there was a trumpet that they delivered. I'd open my car door, and there would be a section of a trumpet in my car. I mean, they were turning up all over town. And Spirit told me that when the 3rd trumpet appears, the trumpets will fly. So about 4 years ago, one of my friends said, here, call these people. They want their parents' belongings to go back in a church. They just passed away. So I go to the house, and the girl ended up giving me all of her parents' belongings, furniture, everything. And we furnished 5 houses for people that didn't have anything for free. It was a blessing. I just paid guys to do the delivery in a truck, and all these people were blessed. But she takes me in the bedroom and she says, no, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's no old spiritualists around anywhere. And there sat the 3rd trumpet on the dresser. She goes, this was my dad's. I've already got one. And I said, no way. They told me when the 3rd one appeared, the trumpets will fly. She goes, it's yours. You never know where they're coming from, you know? And so at my home, I built a seance room because when you sit in the dark without this regular light, it allows you to see spirit and colors a lot easier. And it allows the ectoplasm to build up. I built a cabinet. I think they have one here. And I sit in the cabinet, and it allows the ectoplasm to build inside the cabinet so that it comes to fruition quicker. So I was down in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm a member of a group of mediums from all over the world. And the #1 physical medium in the world, it's not me. Someday. He lives in Germany. His name's Kai Mugi. And he's on Facebook. You can Google him. He's got pictures on there of spirit taking physical form. We use a red light bulb, and that helps with manifesting the seeing. So spirit can come and walk out of the cabinet, and you can see them. If they allow you, you can touch them. They'll let you know if you can or can't. Because if you reach out and grab the spirit, it could hurt the medium in the cabinet, because they're like the battery that's manifesting this. So what happened to me was Michael Shane, another medium, had come to Fort Lauderdale, and he would manifest the masters. So the first time I go to meet him, Jesus walks out of the cabinet. And he would come and lay hands on everybody. And let me tell you, his hands are giant. They were so big. I could see him. He touched me. And I felt the most unconditional love I have ever felt in my whole life. It changed my whole world. And it only inspired me even more to want to be the physical medium, because there's such a high frequency of healing that happens in these seances. That's the whole purpose of it. And so sometimes they'll leave physical gifts that fall out of the trumpet all over the floor. It could be a crystal, it could be a ring, it could be anything. I was gifted this ring here. It's a rutilated quartz that works like an amplifier. And it came out of Michael Shane's mouth. See how big it is? It can come out of the corner of your eyes or your ears or your nose openings. And it's left, but these gifts are left behind to help and empower each and every one of us to do our own healing gift in the world, to help one another. That's the whole purpose of it. And so I'm really blessed to be part of all of you, because we're the gifts. And we're meant to be here to inspire in whatever way we can. We don't all have to be psychics. We don't all have to be the #1 witch like Victoria is. Witch. With the W. But we each have our own unique gifts. And imagine if we were all the same, it would be so boring being here on Earth, wouldn't it? And what I love about metaphysics is that what works for me might not work for you, but we're both right. Because we're each individual, and we're each stepping into our power of what we're sent here to do, what our gift is, and what we need to open up, and we're helping other people open up as they learn from us to find their gifts and to be who they need to be, you know. And the other day, George Carlin came across the internet. Do y'all know he's a comedian? And he said, you know, he said, we're taught to believe in an invisible man in the sky. That's what religion does. And he really, really loves us. But if we're bad, we're going to go to somewhere with fire and hell and smoke. But he really, really loves us. And if you don't break any of the 10 rules that he has, then you're going to get farther ahead. You know, 10 commandments. Y'all are not laughing. Where's your sense of humor? And he said, but do the best you can while you're here. Because remember that each of us are the gift. And here on earth, we can get away with anything. We can be who we want to be. And the only judgment is what we're giving ourselves. That's the only judgment. When we cross over, looking at our Akashic records, we're judging ourselves. No one is standing up there judging us. We're doing it to ourselves, you know? And just walk your talk. And if somebody is like, oh, no, you're wrong. Okay, thank you. Be wrong. Who cares? You know? And as I've walked this journey, I've worked with many different people and many different tribes. And am very blessed. And for a while, I got to go work with the Lakota, which was a real nice blessing. To do healing, because I'm a faith healer. And then I had to take care of family members, so I got stuck in Florida for a while. But it's all good, because all these situations and all these different walks of life of people that come into our lives are teaching us and inspiring us and adding to our own recipe of our own greatness to be who we are and what we are, to walk our talk. And you know, my teacher always told me to always invest in God, because he'll never let you down. He said, don't invest in people because they'll let you down, because they don't know any better. But you can always invest in God. And so I try to do that. And when I was going on my journey and was with the Lakotas, 1 month I went with the Lakotas, and the chief sat down and started talking to me. And my friend was so mad. Why was he talking to me for an hour? What were you saying? And I'm like, talking? And it bothered him that he was working, doing his work, because he wanted to be in the conversation, you know? And I said, well, when you're done working, go sit down with them by the lake. He just showed up. That's how life is. Things just show up in our life, you know? And has anyone ever been in a Nipi sweat lodge? I did once. And I sat with the chief and some other people. And when I went in there, you have to crawl to get in it because it's like a little dome. And women were on one side, men were on the other side. And I had a towel to breathe in. It's really hot in there as they keep shoveling stones in. And what it is rounds of prayer that you're praying. And the difference is you could leave at any time. So I'm in there supposed to be praying, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm going to be the first one out of here. I just know it. What was I thinking that I could sit in here? It's so hot. And they finish a round of prayers, and someone says, I need to leave. And so they wait. The chief goes out to make sure they're okay and comes back. And I'm going, oh, I'm going to be the second person. And I was forgetting to pray. That was the purpose of being in there, to evolve. And so after a couple times of this, I said, oh, Deb, you're supposed to be meditating and praying. What are you doing? And so I went into meditation, and all of a sudden, the whole teepee filled up with turtle shells, and an eagle flew out. And the chief said to me, makes perfect sense. The Lakota are the turtle people. And the eagle is the great mystery, the great spirit, because they don't pray to people. They believed in the animals and the great mystery of the world. He says, makes perfect sense. And when I had went in there, I had worn a dress that was brown and black and white. And he thought I came from the backwards people that paint their face half white, half black. He thought I was from their tribe, and I was there to create chaos, sabotage things. And I said, no, no. I said, I'm known as a clown sometimes, but I'm not from that tribe. And he said, we'll see. And so then at the end, after I saw the turtles and the eagle, I was saved. He knew I wasn't sabotaging anything. And we grew a very wonderful relationship together to learn from one another. Thank you. And so you never know who the teacher is going to be in your life. You never know if the path you're on, you might think, oh, nothing's happening. Maybe you're in intermission time. Trust, we need those. If you're always being the spiritual doer, where you're doing and doing and doing for everyone else, who's taking care of you? When are you the spiritual being where you wake up and say, what do I need today? And open up, because you're the gift. Well, next to me, of course. I'm the gift too. But open up to the best you, because nobody can top you. You're an original. And if you're going to be anyone, just be you, because everyone else is taken. So you don't need to try and be them. And allow spirit into your heart and into your soul. And I'm telling you, your life will never, ever be the same once you open up to that. And thank you all so much for letting me join you today. Such a pleasure to be here today. And I'm very, very grateful for all of you. Because where two or more gather, the magic is there. So thank you all so, so much. So, so much. Such a pleasure to be here. Whoops. I'm not mic friendly, I guess, making noise. So, does anyone have any questions? Oh, y'all are the silent type. Okay. Fine. Be that way. Well, thank you. Thank you all so much. It's an honor to be here.